How to predictably scale and grow your company with setters who are calling the leads, picking up the dials, making action so that the business can make more money, get more sales, get more meetings. I will share how we are generating 200 to 400 meetings per month. I will show you the statistics, the sheets, the tracking, the data. And as always, at the end of the video, you will have the opportunity to get this exact document so you can print it out and use it in your own company. So if your goal is to reach 100K per month, this video is definitely for you. So let's rock and roll. So first of all, what is the mission of a setter? Very simple. Schedule qualified appointments with target customers using warm and cold leads. And second, conducting follow-ups with people who did not pick up the phone, did not respond, or are in the process of still buying in this reality. Okay. Before we jump into this document, I want to just tell you why should you listen and why I can be an expert talking about this. You can see here, this is just this year. We have closed more than 500 deals worth 1.6 million. And we are actively booking a lot of appointments. You can see here, 3,600 people were booked as sales calls. And here you can see my schedule one. Let me put you like November. And we not just only book calls, which you can see here. This is how many meetings we booked. Actually, people show up to these calls and actually people buy from these calls. You can see here. Okay, this month our closing rate was 13%, which is not ideal. Right now it's at 25. So just wanted to show you actual things. And also with this video, I will share actual practical things which you can apply immediately for yourself as well. And it will be very practical. Number one thing. What's the mission of a setter? Very simple. To schedule meetings with warm leads, cold leads, and to conduct follow-ups so that people come to the calls, people show up to the calls, and people buy and follow-ups with people who do not pick up the phone. Because if you're going to start selling internationally, outside, also globally, people will not pick up the phone. That's just reality, okay? So here's the video of my team, how we kind of work. We do like, action training. This is where you can see like us, shouting, building up the team. This is like our sales team. So like an actual team I have, okay? Why it matters and what is the most important thing? It is energy, attitude, clarity about the target. The people need to know what is the target. And then they need training. You need to give them training. What matters else? It's calling new leads. That's what matters. Following up with leads. That's what matters. Finding leads. Doing tie downs. What does tie downs mean? Making promises, keeping promises, and making sure the customer also makes promises that the setter keeps them accountable to. Very important. Properly making notes in the CRM, getting feedbacks from sets. What matters is getting feedback from sets. So when you set somebody, get some feedback from the closer and you can build an internal mechanism that just does that. Lastly, more, better, new. Okay. And this is why I talked about inputs, because for setters, very important is the inputs, like actual things being done. Okay. We'll talk about it. Quick thing, you can see here the scheduling tools. You can see the November, you can see October, how many calls we booked, and you can see we have built internally, we use a CRM called Pipedrive, and this is what you can set up. So every time I log in, this is just today, so I can see, hey, how many calls booked today, how many calls booked this week, how many calls booked this month already, and it gives you kind of the feeling what's happening, what's not happening at a glance. So you don't need to be in the trenches as the owner, founder, CEO. Okay. So last thing about data. You need to have a weekly scorecard for the whole team. This is for the whole team. And we have, of course, weekly scorecards for each individual person as well. Okay. Here you can see what is the main metrics we keep tabs on: meetings booked, show rate, lead to set, which means how many % from leads actually become meetings. Okay. Team efficiency. You'll see what I mean by team efficiency, but that means how much inputs are they doing? Because the most important thing is this thing, which is inputs, which is calling, dialing, texting, and again, doing the same thing, okay? Talking to customers, right? That's the most important thing. Last thing is average booked calls per day per team member. So here you can see this is our averages per day. We try to get this number right now to 5. So that's our target. So it's get to 5. So we want every team member on average to get at least 5 booked calls per day. So that's our target. Okay. And knowing where leads are coming from and what's the history of the lead. So every time someone signs up to our ads or to our landing page or to our website or sends us a DM on Instagram and they kind of fill out the form somewhere, we get this information in our CRM. This is how it looks. So it like, where did that person come from? What funnel, what campaign name, what is the lead source? We also do click ID, but that's a different story. And then we have here the notes of every lead. So we know, is it an old lead? Is it a new lead? What's kind of conversations with them before? Because reality is with setters, reality is some people will get sick. Other people need to cover those leads, cover that person. So this is important for doing that thing specifically. Okay. So here you can see it. Okay. The next thing, efficiency, what I was talking about you. The number one problem I was facing is that people finish the day and they have a result, which is like, I have 4 meetings booked, or I have 8 meetings booked, and that's it. And the problem was I couldn't do accountability for each team member because I can't. Like, how can I manage like 8 people or 4 people or 5 people? It's hard. So we developed efficiency tracker, how we call it. So which basically asks people to do this every hour, or they do it maybe twice a day. So at lunch or end of the workday. So they need to fill out their attempts, like how many times did I try to call someone? You might think, how did they do it? Like with a phone? No. They use VoIP phone systems, like VoIPs, like it's like Internet of Phones, right? It's an online phone basically. So we track attempts, we track talk time, like how much are they talking, like how many minutes are they actually speaking with the customer. Then we track output, which is a set. And we have a mathematical formula that basically tells, based in that hour, this is your score. In that hour, this is your score. Because with the VoIP systems or the IP phones, it's easy to see what time, when did you call, how many calls, how many people picked up, how much did you talk with them, how many minutes. It's very, very easy. And this gives us data. And then at the end of the day, they have a score. And the coolest nugget you can take away from this is doing daily rewards for your people based on output, like amount of sets booked, and efficiency, because then you reward also the inputs, because the inputs drive outputs. But sometimes the day can be like, you can do a lot of inputs, but the outputs, aka sets, will not come. So this is a great way how to balance effort plus output. And people who are always output driven, they're like, I'm going to be the sneaky guy, not do the inputs, but I'm going to get the outputs. You also reward those people if they do perform with outputs, and you reward those people who are hustlers, hungry. So they also get a benefit of being that way. Okay. So, makes sense. Also, this is great for new people when they come on the board in your company, helps them to be very, very sharp. Very, very, because they are hungry, because we do daily rewards. It's a really cool thing, right? Okay. And we're also going to cover like their commission structure, how I have it, and you can use some things for yourself. So it's going to be a very interesting video for you. Outcomes and key metrics. So first of all, 5+ sets per day. That should be the goal. Next thing, 80+% efficiency score and a minimum 120 outbound calls. If you have what I call the efficiency score, maybe you can even not focus on this because, it doesn't even matter, because they will actually do the output, the input. Sorry, they will do the inputs. Okay. Reminder for what I tell all of my team members is that book appointments with people who have a real problem, with people that want to solve it now, which is like, why now? Why now is important? Why do you want to solve it now? Or within a couple of weeks. Important is also to book a decision makers. So, that is important. People will not buy B2B, B2C. Like always, you need a decision maker who wants to solve the problem, and who can solve the problem and make the decision to solve it. The last thing is unemployed individuals. We typically do this as a red flag. Maybe if you have a BizOp offer, then you could do it. But also keep in mind, then ask maybe some financial qualifications. So ask them, are they willing to invest right now in solving this and starting this new side hustle? Top priorities in order is to contact people who need to confirm time and schedule meeting. So those are people who are like, basically, they're ready to book. They just need to confirmation from you. Second thing is always to call new leads, not old leads. So you come to work 9 a.m. Many people, what they do? They're like, let me call the lead that signed up first when I quit my job. No, when I finished my job yesterday. But that's a big problem. You should always contact the newest lead possible. So if you have 10 leads who came in during the night, you should call the one who's signed up last. So that one should you call, because they will be more warm, they will be the freshest, and you'll have the biggest chance of actually getting a meeting. After that, today's activities. When I mean activities in Pipedrive, you can plan activities, you can schedule activities, and basically that's what I mean by plan. Because you should be always, like following up, doing the next action, always with a lead. Even though they don't pick up, even though they're not qualified, even though these things, you should always follow up and plan the next activity, okay? Then doing activities you're like behind, so you're like missing the deadline. And then it's basically list, boiler, call, database. When I mean boiler, those are auto dialers. It's a cool feature. You can put in a list of phone numbers, like 10,000 or 1,000 or 100, and just the system will call them automatically, multiple people at the same time. And as soon as someone picks up, it connects with you, the agent, the person who is calling, and it doesn't dial no more. Because if you're working internationally, maybe in a local market like Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Sweden, it cannot be that way when you call local people to local number. But when you call internationally and they know you're not from that country, there will be a lot of resistance. One thing is what's also very important is to use localized numbers when you're doing auto dialers. Most of them have this feature where you can just buy extra phone numbers so you can call people with their local number. That will increase pickup rate also dramatically. Next thing, very important thing, I think this is just to mention quickly. When you book an appointment with somebody, ask them, can I do it today? Like, are you available 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock today? We're very busy this week. We're very busy today, but I see that Johnny has an opening at 4 o'clock today. Would you be open to that? Would you want to use this great opportunity so we can jump on talk even today, so we can get you started maybe even sooner? Great way to do it, okay? Today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. Very important. What are the goals for new people who come in our team and then setters? You should have this also. By the way, if you want this document below, you can just get it, grab it. So click the link. You'll be able to get this document. So do that, because you can adjust the numbers, the data, and this will serve as a good thing when you're onboarding new setters or to when you're going to plan the next step, because I'm going to show you a lot of cool stuff in this document as well. So monthly goals, at least 28K in revenue, 10 deals closed. And here's like a mathematical thing. So basically we want our people to book 60 to 80 meetings, because we know, based on our statistics, you could have your own statistics that 50, 60 people will show up, 20% typically buy, and then you're going to have then deals, and then you can do these numbers. Okay. And then they can make salary, etc., etc., etc. Okay. What they will need, or what they will do. Yeah, what they need. This is a cool thing. So they will have and use the script. They should know the script. They should be calling leads as soon as possible with people who like sign up with ads. They should be also reaching out to leads who are in the database, because once they finish those leads, which are the fresh leads, we have a huge database, and most businesses have. So you should be calling your existing database. You should be doing follow-ups. You should be also trying to do cold outreach if you have the time and these all things are done. And then of course, a very important thing is to have at least 2 to 4 hours of active talk time on the phone. If you have a phone setter, that should be their number one minimum priority. I have seen companies where their active phone time, like actually speaking to a customer on the phone, it is from 4 to 6 hours per day. So, but those are really good numbers. In my company, in my business, it's typically 2 to 4, but I have seen that. Okay. So, and, that's just something to strive for. So minimum, because you need to understand as a business owner or a manager that the only time they're producing some result, or that something that can result in a result, like aka money for the business, is when they talk with the customer, Very important. Okay. The tools that they have, a CRM, iPhone, they will have WhatsApp, option to send, DM action in IG, Facebook Messenger, and they can send emails also. Daily things that our people need to do is meeting and reporting, attend the meetings we have, know your numbers, like the setter needs to know their numbers and their projection, share at least 1-2 wins from previous day, because this is like a cadence we have for the meetings. Be proactive, not reactive, submit end of day reports, respond to Slack messages from team members or team leads, accurately update the CRM. Okay, this is very important. This is like access for kind of training materials they have, which they can learn from, the values of the company. This again, you put in your own values. Your company has different values. These are just mine in our company at the moment when I'm filming, recording this video. Growth opportunities also very important for every setter role. I think when you hire someone is to clearly tell them what will be their potential growth opportunity, how much they can make, what is the next roadmap, so they have a thing looking forward to, right? Typically for a setter, it is basically to become a closer, right? Here you can see the salary range. Here you can see what they need to do in order to do it. And we have a written out for them, like a specific thing, how they will do it. So basically, once you're hitting these numbers, which you need to hit a minimum like amount for 2-3 months, you're qualified to become a closer, right? We want you to be a closer. And then you have a training call with the closer team management, and you will be given, and if you need to pass this firstly, and then you will be given 5 to 15 meetings to prove your ability. And then we'll check how it goes. If you're closing, no problem. You will stick as a closer, no problem. And we also tell them the salary range. For closers, we have a different compensation plan. I will share you my setter compensation plan, but it's a little bit different. Work time, we tell them immediately what's going to be the work time. And then about salary, also the key important factor I want to tell you is geolocation and potential earnings. Like that is very important, because in Germany, these numbers maybe should be different. In USA, they will probably can be the same, but it also depends on their capacity to earn in your opportunity. Very important. And also the opportunities they have or are available to them, also very important. And also take an account, I'm living in Eastern Europe, a country called Latvia, and we work in person. So also just think about it in terms of this is a framework, and you should adjust it based on your situation, based on your market, based on your economic situation in the marketplace, right? So this is how we do it. We do a fixed salary, and we do 3% cash collected from warm leads, and we do 9% cash collected from cold leads that are like brand new, didn't know us, and then you contact them and then buy. Or these are the leads who are 6 months old in the CRM. If you have a business that is been around for a couple of years, you probably have a bunch of people who did sign up, didn't buy, or did sign up, did buy, but you can reactivate them. So, okay. And the last thing, we do also a bonus ladder. So every time you reach 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K cash collected, you have a bonus. So it makes people, at the end of the month, like try, if they're at 15, they want to get a 20. If they're at 37, they want to get a 40. That's the thing. And this is a cool thing. I don't think, I haven't heard anybody talk about this as well. So the bonuses, and this is basically this, not fixed salary, but these things. So there's like a pile of it. Let's say 100. So 100, let's say 1,000 euros, right? But if you miss work or delay work more than 2 times, we basically give you a warning, and the percent does change. So this is a great indicator, and not an indicator, but a great way to make sure people are more, like punctual, more thinking about it. So you don't have meetings where like 3 people come late, which is bullshit, right? Because you want to have a structure. You want to have it. At least I want to have it, right? And the difference, we donate to charity. So pretty cool thing. People maybe not so happy about it sometimes if they're missing like 3, 4, 5 times, but it makes sure people don't miss so much. Okay. Then I think an important thing I want to share is how we call new leads and what is the kind of cadence. Here you can say this is a big map of what we have mapped out. And I really recommend, if you have a bigger team or you want to expand and scale, I want you to also maybe think about, if you, like I think about, it's cool. You map out everything that happens in your company, in your sales or your client success or your operations. And it just makes visually clear where are some bottlenecks or where should you improve or what people are getting. Because when our company was growing from like 2 people to 10 people and now from 10 to 15, like the thing was, like we were doing a lot of things, but I like a lot of things. I don't know what's happening or what people are doing. I like just don't know, because like there's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things. But when I map out every message, every thing which you can see here, like, okay, so for example, A lead comes in, we are contacting this lead, the person doesn't pick up the phone, we need to send a WhatsApp message, hitting them up. And here I have written out what they will receive, like message 1, message 2, message 3. And then my team is very clear, like, what should I do in this situation? They can just open Figma and just check it. And if I want to improve the process, I can improve it here once and then just communicate the changes and update the scripts in a Google document. And everybody's using the new stuff, right? And I also see what we're doing, because then I can scroll out, because this is our all sales process, and I can see, okay, where could we do an improvement, or where needs to be our attention, because I see the big picture. Many times people don't see the big picture. You're like, yeah, what the hell's happening? I don't see the big picture. So it's very important to see the big picture, and I think it's a great way to do it. So first rules, the lead picks up the phone. Number one thing, you should be calling leads within 30 seconds. Then you should basically move the lead to this stage. Then speak with the customer. Once you're finished, do the next step, which is you're going to have a meeting booked, or you need to do follow-up, or you need to lost the deal or something like that, right? If the lead doesn't pick up the phone, this is the most important thing. Still do double dial, triple dial, which means you call, they don't pick up, you call again, and then you call again, and then you do WhatsApp follow-ups. And also, I would recommend you in the first day to call at least 3 to 7 times. You might be thinking, whoa, Niks, that's crazy. But I would really recommend you to do that. Especially if the setter doesn't have enough leads, and you should do that, right? And you might be thinking how many leads a setter needs to have a full work day. Depends on multiple things, your offer, what kind of leads, etc. Typically, the ball range is from 300 to 1,000. Per month. They should receive this many leads per month, right? And the goal for them should be to book sales calls for your closers, or, like doing that. If your company has the situation where there's closers and setters, right? It also depends on multiple things, but that's just like some guidance for you, okay? What we do, I think, which is very important to know this and to tell you, every time a lead is, let's say, no, it's not a good fit, or we cannot help them, we do immediately get feedback, because here you can see in the CRM, we're just basically clicking lost. So we click lost, and there's options to select, like, what's wrong with the lead? And then we know the data, like, okay, like last week we got like 500 leads, 100 of them, this reason, like, they're like doing something completely different than what we do. They're like, we're telling to the marketing, hey guys, marketing team, bruh, what the hell are you doing? These leads ain't gonna buy from us, right? That's a great thing to do it, because it builds out immediately a feedback loop. Because I used to do what? I used to go to people like, how are the leads? And then people just tell them their emotions. They tell them maybe because one lead was a big dick, and it like made their day bad, and they just like remember that, talk about it, and that's their whole day. But they lose the fact that like they booked like 8 calls, the leads were amazing, but they say, no, the leads are shit. Because emotionally driven information, and you don't want to put that as the only true information. I would recommend you to not do that way. I would recommend you to look at the data, know the data, etc. The next thing, which I think is very important to mention for you, is call the leads first 7 days, or at least first 5 days. Do that. And a cool thing we do to save time, the people who did not pick up the phone, we put them in a one big list. At the end of the day, every time at like 4 to 6 o'clock, we put them in the auto dialer, which I was mentioning to you guys before. And we basically, the system dials like really, really fast, and we just connect with these people as well. That's how we do like 20% bump on the people who did not pick up the phone initially, but we consistently call them for the first 7 days. And they do pick up the phone eventually. So it's like not everybody, of course, but it's a big bump, like 20%, which is a big bump, right? It can get your cost per call like way down, right? That's what you want, right? Lower cost per call. So hope you like this video. If you want this document, just grab it below. Appreciate if you write a question you might have, so I can make a next video. Stay sharp, make a move, stay sexy. And thank you for watching the video.